Smith. Good evening. How's everyone doing? Got my hand in my pocket like all the other men in the room. But, 4th of July is coming up. Father's Day is coming up, and I got kids, and Father's Day always reminds me how important it is to support abortion rights. I don't know if any of you have kids, but those that do, I'm sure there's a moment where you thought maybe they should have not made it past the first trimester. Actually, I don't know when the cutoff is, but I think it should be middle school. Anyway, my daughter, youngest, I got 3 kids. My youngest one's 14. She's angry with me, in part because she's still upset because to save money on babysitting, we used to just drop her off at the bus station. And I know that sounds cruel, but the truth of the matter is, statistically, most of the bad things that happen to kids are from someone they know, and she didn't know anyone at the bus station. And it was educational, you know. She learned fractions, how to divide an ounce into eighths. You know, now when she's baking, she can eyeball, you know, and a gram, just like with the best of them. But also, and you know, I'm very proud of her because she's finding ways to make money. Like she'll find out where ice is appearing, and then she'll get there ahead of time, and just as they show up for $20, she'll just go like this. Point them right out. But, anyway, and the other day she told me, that she thinks I have frontal lobe damage, and I tried to debate her on it. Then I went home and looked up the symptoms, and I don't know if I ever had one. You know, it was like one of them is poor decision making, like. I married a woman and was married to her for 17 years because when we dated, she seemed to like anal, and that was not a good reason to marry someone. And then people, they have apathy, but forget it. But my parents died. You know, my mother died when I was young, and my father, you know, when I was earlier, you know, as an adult, but not too. Pretty early in life. And so all my friends and people I know, they still have their parents are around, and I'm always jealous because I never got a chance to put mine in a home. It's unfair. But my father was not the nicest man in the world all the time. You know, on his deathbed, his very, very last word to me was shush. I think once in my life he told me he loved me, and then I saw him go over to a memo mat and cross it off a list of things to do that day. We did, when he died, we did have him cremated. And then, I don't know if you know, you can do this, and we had him compressed. We took the ashes and had him compressed into a diamond, and then we pawned him. So, it was fruitful. Anyway, my cousins, he doesn't talk to me much anymore. It's kind of how our family is, but it's because he thinks you know, for a while they thought I fucked his wife, and I didn't. I just merely jerked off to her picture, which was awkward because it was a holiday photo, and there's other people, and I had kids, and Santa hats and stuff. Actually, the real awkward part was handing her back her phone. But I've been dating and divorced, obviously, and no surprise there, I suppose. And you know, getting divorced is when the marriage isn't going well, or any kind of relationship when it ends. It can be such a relief when it's finally over. I felt so good that I almost wanted to get married again just to get another divorce. I missed that sense of bliss. But now I'm getting older, and it's fall asleep a lot easier. I could be watching a movie, the best movie I've ever seen. Next you know, I'm falling asleep. I fall asleep all the time now in the middle of things that are. I fell asleep right in the middle of an orgasm. Fortunately, it was hers, but that wasn't too bad. But what else is there? Telling someone you love them is always awkward. It seems like it's a contest. Whoever says it loses. I told someone I loved them once, and they just looked at me and said, "You're funny." But what I do now is I think about it, and I tell them that in a nice intimate moment, and I'll say, "I think I love you," and they like that. They buy into it. It's sweet. And then if it doesn't work out, I just said, that's it. And they say, "Well, you told me you love me." I can just say, "No, I did not. I said, I think I love you. I thought about it, and I don't." So, it's covered me right there. But, anyway, moving a little faster than I anticipated today, but, anyone have a dog? Dog owners out in the crowd here? Yeah. Ever, you look into their eyes and they give you those big puppy eyes, they just melt your heart. And I always look at it sometimes and I think, how much am I willing to spend to keep you alive? Because, it's sad, but pet care is really expensive. I was at the dog park with my dog, and there was a 3-legged dog there, and that's like $50,000 to amputate that dog's leg. But what, like most things in life is now, I realize if I was in that situation, is you can Google it and do it yourself. You get the dog up on the counter. Anyway, thank you. That's my time.
I'm really sorry. That was bad DJ. Yeah, sure? Yeah, you got one more joke? Bad. I don't even know what it is. That's right. I'm good. Thanks. Give it up for Joshua Smith. I'm sorry. I'm going to spank that DJ. I'm going to pull his dick. Fuck that guy in the gas hole.